With a smile on her face, she agreed. He said bye to her and left. She was encouraged to do her best and catch up to him. At the dormitories, ZC was waiting for Yuanin. Yue asked him what he was doing there. He thought that it was Yuanin and turned around but got angry seeing that it was Yue. Yue observed that all of the windows were fixed and commended ZC on the job, questioning if he had fixed them alone and if he was waiting for Yuanin. Yue then asked if ZC was there to admit he was wrong. ZC responded, questioning the importance of admitting it. Yue replied that if he wanted to admit it, he would have to wait patiently, warning him to be careful as Wu Lin and the others were present and not to anger Yuanin, or he would be in trouble. He then left. After a while, Yuanin arrived. She ignored him and went straight for her room. ZC tried to stop her, but she told him to get lost. ZC said that he came to apologize, but she didn't listen, so he decided to leave. Yuanin was still disturbed by what had happened. In his room, Wang Teng asked him the reason he looked so dazed. ZC mentioned that he went to apologize to Yuanin, but she completely ignored him. Wu Lin advised him that he couldn't be so impatient. He had to wait for her to calm down before attempting to apologize. Wu Lin warned him to be careful and to try not to anger her further. He pointed out that ZC's thinking had been wrong in the past few days, and that if he didn't try to improve himself first, he could be expelled. ZC acknowledged that Wu Lin was right, and he declared that he would go to practice. Wu Lin was worried about his friend. In his room, Wu Lin was meditating when suddenly Elder Feng came looking for him. He grabbed him by his hand and told him that he was going to help him get rank 30. He said that he didn't have any money. Feng told him that he didn't need to complain because he would lower the price for him to 5 spirit refinings, and if that was not enough, the association would also provide him with the metal forge. Wu Lin asked if he could cover all his meals, stating that if he did, he would listen to anything he said. Feng agreed on the condition that he accept him as his teacher. Wu Lin accepted without any hesitation. Feng took him to perform a ritual on him so that he could go to rank 30. He told him that no matter how painful it would be, he had to endure it. At first, the feeling was warm as if he was soaked in hot water. Feng told him to circulate the energy the same way he would when he cultivated. Feng was amazed because Wu Lin didn't have any adverse reactions. He gave him something to drink. After he drank it, he was surrounded by a light blue energy. Feng was amazed because he had digested the spirit item by relying only on his bloodline power. His blood essence was so potent and powerful that not even an adult power-type soul master could match him. At class, his classmates wondered where he was. A man came to inform Teacher Wu that Wu Lin was currently at a crucial point in his cultivation and shouldn't be disturbed, so he wouldn't be attending class. Gu Yue wondered what Wu Lin was breaking through. In the 2nd grade classroom, the teacher introduced everyone to Mu Shi, an outstanding blacksmith of the 4th rank who would be joining their class. The teacher asked Mu Shi to introduce herself. Mu Shun told everyone her name and that she was from East Sea City, which was part of the Sky Sea Alliance. Her goal was to become a divine blacksmith. She told everyone to take care of her. She sat next to Yue Zhengyu. He tried to start small talk so that he could become friends with her, but she wasn't interested. Meanwhile, Wu Lin's soul power had successfully reached rank 30. Gold Light suddenly slithered out and stretched itself along Wu Lin's shoulder. Gold Light's body grew larger. Its golden scales expanded and its eyes shone brighter. Along with Gold Light's growth, it offered a 3rd soul ring to Wu Lin. It advised Wu Lin to take the opportunity to break a seal, explaining that what he had ingested earlier was a 10,000-year spirit item. This item was more than enough to substitute for the spirit items needed to break the 3rd seal. Furthermore, with 3 rings, Wu Lin was now strong enough to break the 3rd seal, and it urged him not to waste this opportunity. Wu Lin did so. The process started. A red light started surrounding him. The blood essence in his body began to boil, and his body was about to explode. He shouted in agony. Feng was amazed looking at him. Feng wondered if this was the power of blood essence condensing into an unheard-of blood essence ring. Was it still a soul ring? The golden scales evenly spread on his shoulder. There were so many peculiarities about Wu Lin. Feng had found a treasure. Wu Lin was about to fall to the ground, but Feng caught him. Feng remarked that Wu Lin had overdrafted his energy and might have injured his core. People are usually as lively as dragons when they break through, but he was different. Feng decided to inject some soul power into him. Wu Lin told him that he was hungry and asked for food. He took him to the dining hall. He was surprised by his incredibly large appetite. After he finished eating, Feng asked if Wu Lin always ate that much. Wu Lin replied that he usually only ate about half as much. Feng then inquired if Wu Lin could really digest all that food. Wu Lin explained that for him, eating food was another way to cultivate. He suggested that Feng should be able to sense it, pointing out that his blood essence was far stronger than other people's. Wu Lin added that his blood essence could offer him a lot of strength and power, similar to a soul ring's, and eating could enhance the power of his blood essence. Judging from the color of the sky, Wu Lin thought that he had missed a day of class. Feng replied that he had actually missed 3 days of school. He was shocked. Feng told him not to worry because he had requested a leave of absence for him. He told him to find him tomorrow afternoon so that he could teach him forging. Wu Lin was still worried about the 3 days he had missed. He needed to find Wu to catch up on what he had missed. He went running looking for him. He found him at the inner court's gate. Wu told him to follow him. He got on top of a boat and lent him a hand. He was surprised to see that he had 3 rings. Wu asked what he had done. Wu Lin explained that Elder Feng had fed him some treasured spirit items and then helped warm his meridians. After that, he made a breakthrough. Wu inquired why Elder Feng had done that. Wu Lin responded that Elder Feng wanted him to learn blacksmithing from him and then start practicing spirit refining, but he needed to reach rank 31st, so Elder Feng helped him. He asked what spirit item he had eaten, but Wu Lin had no clue. He had forgotten. Beautiful lights started appearing around them. Wu Lin thought that they were very beautiful. He said he definitely needed to make it to the inner court, and that he would be able to come here if he did. After a breakthrough, his bloodline's power had improved again. Wu asked if his bloodline had improved again. Wu Lin demonstrated his power, and Wu was amazed by it. Wu Lin noted that his strength had increased by about 50%. Wu asked what price he had to pay Feng. Wu Lin replied that he owed him 5 spirit refinings. Wu remarked that it was definitely worth it. Just refining his meridians was worth way more. Elder Feng's martial soul was the blazing fire dragon, so his control over fire was extremely precise. With his current cultivation level, he could purify meridians with his flames, and it would be like having muscles and bones completely cleansed. He rarely offered to do this for anyone. Wu asked if Wu Lin had any idea what it cost to get Elder Feng to do this for someone, and mentioned it cost 10 million contribution points. Wu Lin was surprised. Wu explained that the price was set high by Elder Feng because he didn't want to help just anyone refine their meridians. The fact that Elder Feng offered to do it showed just how much he valued him. He understood. He asked if they were going to Grand Teacher's place. Wu told him that his Grand Teacher said to come back after a week. He asked if he had already forgotten, which he actually had. They arrived at Grand Teacher Zhuo's place. He was shocked that Wu Lin's blood essence had improved so much in just a week. He asked him what had happened. Wu Lin told him the entire story. After hearing it, he noted that Wu Lin had broken through very quickly. He suggested that Wu Lin could now try spirit refining and truly become a 5th-rank blacksmith. He encouraged Wu Lin to keep up the good work before mentioning that he was leaving to rest. Wu took Wu Lin with him so that he could catch up on what he had missed. In his room, Zhou called Feng. He was mad that he had made Wu Lin his disciple without his permission. He told him that he didn't need his permission. This infuriated him even more. He reminded him that his disciple Wu Jiangkong was Wu Lin's teacher. This made him his grand teacher. The two went back and forth. In the end, Zhuo challenged Feng to a fight. Feng refused and hung up. This made him even more mad. The entire night Wu Lin spent with Wu Jiangkong catching up on the content he had missed. Minutes before the break of dawn the next morning, the teacher and student practiced the purple demon eyes together. Wu Ling asked Teacher Wu where the Tang sect branch in Shrek City was, and if he should go with ZC and Xu Xiaoyan to report. Wu replied that it was in Shrek Inner City, very close to the campus, and that he would bring them there later. They then went to find Zhuo so they could eat breakfast with him. After that, all of them came outside. Zhuo told Wu Lin to watch him carefully. He channeled his energy and showed him an ability that he had never seen before. Wu Lin was amazed while at the same time, his body and the space felt like it was about to be ripped apart. Zhuo asked if he felt that. He told him that he could use the power in his bloodline like him too, and that the move was called Dragon Shocks the Heavens, because his martial soul was the Scarlet Armored Dragon. When he used the move, it would be called Scarlet Dragon Shocks the Heavens. Wu questioned whether Wu Lin could learn the ability in his current state, because that was the first part of the most powerful soul skill Zhuo had created. He explained that his self-created soul skill was only accessible to individuals who possessed dragon-type martial souls. Additionally, it demanded an exceedingly potent blood essence from the learner. He reassured that he was only teaching it to Wu Lin because his bloodline resembled his martial sword. And with his recent bloodline development, he could initiate learning the self-created soul skill. Wu assured that even if Wu Lin couldn't comprehend it fully, his bloodline would ensure no harm came to him. Another reason he was teaching him was to get the upper hand on Feng. He wanted to provide to Wu Lin more than Feng ever could. Wu Lin tried to use the ability, but it didn't work. He tried again, but it still didn't work. Wu Lin was starving, so he decided to do that another time. At the dining hall, Feng was waiting for Wu Lin. He gave him a dining hall card. Whatever he bought with the card would be charged directly to his account. Wu Lin thanked him. Feng questioned if Zhuo was his grand teacher. He asked how he knew. He replied how could he not and told him to go eat. Feng wasn't about to let Zhuo take away his disciple from him. After eating, Wu Lin met Gu Yue, Shi Xie, and Siduo. Siduo was a little angry at him. He apologized for troubling everyone and stated that he would forge everyone's metals to be used in the manufacture of the first mecha part that day. Gu Yue asked if he had broken through. He told her that he had, and now he had 3 rings. Xu Xiaoyan was amazed. She told him that she had broken through rank 32 days before. On the next day, Gu Yue promised to take her to get a new spirit soul. She asked if he wanted to come with them. He politely declined, stating that he had too much to do. Class began, and Shun Yi announced that they would have combat class that day. She informed them that they would be fighting in their mecha-making groups, not sparing with each other, but with either her or Teacher Wu. She instructed the group leaders to get their groups ready. Wu Lin thought to himself it was the perfect opportunity to gauge his current strength. Outside, Shun Yi emphasized that the focus of the day was teamwork. She repeated that the groups would be fighting her or Teacher Wu, and both of them would be using their full power. She declared that any group that defeated them would receive full marks. Otherwise, their score would depend on their performance. After 5 minutes of discussion, the battle would commence with the class council group. Siduo asked, who should they choose? Wu Lin suggested to Teacher Wu because they had a better understanding of Teacher Wu's abilities compared to Teacher Shen's. Luo agreed, proposing they organize accordingly. Wu Lin would lead the vanguard, while Wu Siduo would execute a flank attack. He would position himself at the center to manage the battle's dynamics, and Gu Yue would offer cover fire from the rear. Wu Lin accepted. They told the teacher that they would fight Teacher Wu. The battle started. Wu Lin charged toward Wu. He used 3 purple soul rings, which surprised Wu. He went on the offensive and used his golden dragon claw to attack, but Wu charged his energy and easily stopped him using his first soul skill, Frost Scar. Wu noted that the tenacity of Wu Lin's blue-silver grass had improved a lot. Luo started forming ice chains around Wu, and Siduo went in to attack, but Wu easily broke through the chains and attacked Siduo. Luo saved Siduo by teleporting her away. Wu Lin got ready to strike. Siduo used her spirit fusion and transformed into the Hell-White Tiger. Gu Yue also started charging an attack. Wu raised his hand and formed a sword. His eyes shined a golden color. His attack sent both Wu Lin and Siduo flying. ZC noted that Wu's swords had become 9. Before Wu Lin and Siduo could be hit, Luo managed to teleport them. Luo asked Gu Yue if she could control space. She told him that if he could do it, then so could she. Siduo attacked Wu. Wu Lin also attacked. He told Gu Yue to attack because his blue-silver grass couldn't last any longer. Gu Yue did so and formed a giant tornado. Luo almost got caught in it, but Wu Lin managed to save him. Luo thanked him. Gu Yue told Wu Lin that he was too kind-hearted because he couldn't see that Luo was targeting him. Gu Yue closed her eyes and channeled her energy. Luo was amazed by her and wondered why she was willing to submit to Wu Lin. Wu raised his hand and formed a giant sword with it. He easily defeated them. The next group was told to go up to fight. Wu Lin acknowledged that it was all his fault, admitting that he had underestimated Teacher Wu, resulting in Wu becoming at least 2 times stronger than before. He also confessed to not properly coordinating with everyone. Gu Yue questioned Wu Lin's assumption of responsibility, asking why he, as he was not even the team leader, was taking all the blame, pointing out that Luo, who made the team's plan, had remained silent on the matter. This made Luo angry. Wu Lin pondered that as the class president, there was still considerable doubt among his peers. Nevertheless, he recognized the necessity for collective effort if they aimed to become battle armor masters. Addressing Luo, he acknowledged his strength and leadership skills, but emphasized his current role as the class president. Luo responded with a nonchalant, "So what?" In reply, Wu Lin asserted that internal conflict would impede their progress, urging Luo to prioritize cooperation over personal ambitions. He assured his dedication to meeting everyone's expectations as a blacksmith, particularly in crafting one-word battle armor. He challenged Luo to strive, grow, and improve if he intended to contest the class president position in the following semester. Wu Lin admitted to Siduo that he was responsible for the loss in the battle. He acknowledged his failure to coordinate effectively and underestimated Teacher Wu's strength. Despite not being friends, he emphasized the importance of being comrades. Furthermore, he confessed that he was not a 4th-rank blacksmith, but actually a 5th-rank one. Siduo was shocked by this revelation. Wu Lin then suggested that becoming friends with him, a potential divine blacksmith in the future, was a wise decision, considering their shared goal of achieving 4-word battle armor in the future. Luo told Wu Lin that what he said was right, acknowledging him as the class president and their group's leader, but emphasized that if he ever made a mistake, he would have to take responsibility. Wu Lin thanked Luo for the encouragement, to which Luo responded that it was too soon for Wu Lin to thank him, as he would always be waiting for Wu Lin to make a mistake. Shun Yi understood that Wu was correct in his assessment of Wu Lin, that he was indeed a born leader. After combat class, everyone had various gains and losses from the battle, but neither Shen Yi nor Wu Zhengkong stepped forward to comment. This was Shrek Academy's teaching style. Students were left to ponder and comprehend on their own without excessive pointers from others. At the dining hall, the group went to eat. Because of Wu Lin's abnormally large appetite, Luo mocked him, but Gu Yue defended him, saying that it was none of his business. After they were done eating, they decided to go and rent a room. There were a lot of workshops at the Blacksmiths Association, so they decided to rent one there and use it as their base. They went to Elder Feng. He agreed to give them a room at the cost of 1,000 contribution points every month. They were leaving, but Wu Lin was stopped by Feng, who told him to stay there. He would give him 2 hours, and then he would teach him how to forge. Wu Lin agreed and asked to be unhanded. In their room, they were discussing their progress. Gu Yue was asked if she had drawn up any rough designs of battle armor. She mentioned that she had already been getting feedback from the other two these past few days for the first piece of their battle armor. She decided on armor for their right hands, stating that she chose this piece because it was the easiest to use in combat.